Okay, we are ready for action. See if we can get some people in here. Can't believe that. Listening to those guys as they run by, talking about buying a cow. It's like, really? Unbelievable. All right, we got somebody in here. Hi there, first person in. Yeah, we're literally outside of a steakhouse today, uh, doing a. Shouldn't have just realized I shouldn't have said that in the. We're doing a little live stream showing people where where the kind of products of slaughterhouses go, and the beautiful four walls of which the beautiful four walls of which they wind up in to be seemingly consumed by unknowing people. And that's our MO out here today. I will be out here for probably 45 minutes or so. So welcome to the stream. My one person in here right now. Uh, Thanks for being here. I wonder if you yourself are vegan or have gone vegan yet. Uh, but we're in this beautiful little town that I live in. That they just love seafood here, and they love meat. I mean, it's a really nice scenic, but it gets ugly once you go inside some of these four walls. Hey, Atira, how are you? Nice to see you. How's it going? So I'm switching it up a little bit today. Today I'm outside of a steakhouse, and I'm actually going off of Mel and Steve's stream. And I just thought I was talking to them, and I was telling everybody in their stream that I'm piggybacking off of their stream, and we're going to talk about how the food or the slaughterhouse products wind up in restaurants. And I thought, why did I use the term piggyback? That was stupid. It's just so telling of how just infiltrating all this disrespectful, all these sentiments and figures of speech that have to do with animals kind of seep into our language. Like, why did I use piggyback? Oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, I'm kind of going off of their stream and showing our local steakhouse here, which, I mean, it's right where I'm at. It's 7 a.m. in the morning, so it's not even open. But later tonight, there'll be cars and valets and people going in there, and anybody who's anybody will be going to this fancy um, steakhouse. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to see, but last night I interviewed Joe Best from Joe Best Bliss, and we had a great talk about spirituality and veganism. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet, because I know you are into I know you're into music, right? So I know there's a kind of an inherent spiritual tie. So I think you'd enjoy that stream. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. This is the steakhouse in my town. I've heard, there's a steak in there that's like $150 or something like that. Oh, so cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I was telling some of the others, or so I tell some of the people that I run into about Will Tuttle's World Peace Diet, the book, The World Peace Diet. And, if they're spiritual, I highly recommend that they read that because there's an inherent tie to veganism in, within spirituality. Hey, Demon Child, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. Oh, are you serious? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank that. I'm glad that I was able to mention that. I'm glad you got it. I hope you really liked it. Um, I I think it's the best book that's out there. I almost want to say in general, and in fact, I will say that in general. That is my favorite book that's out there. Um, Hi, everybody. Newcomers, welcome. Just so you know, we're outside of a steakhouse today. We're just pointing out the kind of end effect and where the slaughterhouse products go for, what Mel and Steve and Project Livestream are showing today via all the slaughterhouses across the world. So that's where your animal products go. Boom, right in there in a curated four walls. Hey, Kim Cat, how you doing? Leva says, I don't care. Well, why don't you care? Because I would almost contest that I don't think you believe that on a deeply recessed level. I think you care. You know, when we're all born, we kind of come out vegan by default. We're, we're just impulsively one and impulsively benevolent. But through different conditioning, that we experience through our lives, growing up, being exposed to mainstream narratives, being around, uh, the same kind of people and persons that have been unfortunately subjected to those conditionings, we lose our innocence, and it's not our fault. But we always have this chance of remembering, and it looms there, waiting for us. The truth doesn't move; it just stays there, waiting for us, guys. But we're out here today just kind of pointing out that a lot of suffering and death happens in the world because of what happens in what is the systems that are strengthened via the inside of those four walls. That steakhouse right there. It's really sad, and we're out here to speak up against it today. So stop yapping, says Leva. I know it's like I don't want to hear it. I know. Trust me, I get it. Before I was vegan, I was the same way. But like I said, the truth doesn't move. It'll be there waiting for you. And hopefully, Leva, you can find some resources that will further solidify a decision to go vegan because you can do it. You can do it. What's up, uh, Yama Ludin? How are you? Welcome to the stream. We're out here today, everybody, in front of a steakhouse. We are showing you oh, the curated building of which slaughterhouse the dead animals and dead sentient beings that have their throats slit for taste pleasure and arbitrary nutrition. We're showing you where those poor babies wind up, and that's inside the four walls of that steakhouse right there. Little do people know that when they go into those four walls, they're paying for essentially, I ha- I'm gonna call a spade, a dead child on a plate. These babies are between 18 and 24 months old. Put that in human terms, and you're looking at a toddler right there. They can live up to the age of 25 years old, but because of how savage and disconnected the incumbent systems of food are, we see these poor babies as food and objects and not as the sentient sovereign beings of which they actually are living on our earth. So we're out here today going off of Mel and Steve's live stream, Project Live Stream. Uh, if you get a chance, see if you can toggle between our live streams here. They're showing you what is going on in slaughterhouses, what is going on outside of slaughterhouses, the trucks coming in. They're giving you a vivid descriptive of what happens in the slaughterhouse. It's a really vile, terrible thing. And what happens is, at the end of the day, those sentient beings wind up in those four walls right over there for people to kind of strengthen with the dollar and with their energy. And welcome, everybody. Jerry Con, we know they have sentience. Animals have a nervous system and a brain. Sentience is defined as an emerging property of a nervous system and a brain. They have that. They have a subjective experience of the world around them. Uh, and we don't need to eat them. Random All Sorts says, body part house. I couldn't agree with you more. It's literally, you know, now what Mel and Steve are showing today is literally like a scene from the movie Saw. And after those body parts are kind of fleshed out, clean, processed, tinkered up, made to look pretty, they wind up in those four walls right there. So out of this savage, violent, terrible happening, the babies wind up in there on somebody's plate. K11 Fitness says, I like to eat meat. Okay, well, what we would kind of ask you there is tilt your outlook to that of the animals. Um, that's where we kind of default to as vegan activists. Tilt your outlook to that of the animal. Kind of tilt to the animal outlook, because your sentiment holds no weight once you tilt that way. Random All Sorts says, some people serve the world and some people just serve themselves. Yeah, yeah. And I think the latter part hails from separatism and separatism initiatives, separatism um, uh, kind of entities that want us to be separate, be seen as separate. They want to strengthen these divisions and to serve themselves. So a lot of people don't know it, but they're arguing on behalf of these kind of plutocratic elites that want to keep people separate by all means to keep the the massive amounts of material benefit siphoning off to them. So a lot of people that argue against veganism don't realize that they're being exploited and they're defending their own exploitation. So maybe that's something to ponder, or something for the people in the chat to ponder that are so vehemently opposed to veganism. Veganism is simply freedom. It's simply the golden rule. It's simply do unto others, and it doesn't go much farther than that. And it's more so hedonistically altruistic in that it you are doing something, or removing yourself from a system that your removal just serves the benevolence of the universe. But at the same time, your health gets better, the environment around you gets better, you feel better, you feel lighter. There's a lot of great benefits to veganism. Okay, K11 says, so I understand your point. K11 also says, but I'm going to continue eating meat. If I don't, it will rotten in the grocery store. Well, the only reason that it's there in the first place is because you're buying it. So if you remove yourself and you remove your dollar from the whole gamut, you won't have another poor baby that goes off to get slaughtered because of you. Supply and demand. Thank you, Kim Cat. And think about it also, K11 Fitness. I mean, seriously, it's really disgusting what we do. This is flesh that has been sitting there and rotting in a grocery store for X amount of days. It's more. A lot of carnivores like to say, "Oh, I'm so macho, so manly. I'm eating meat." But at the end of the day, you're acting like a vulture. You're not. No one's going out there and doing anything macho like taking down an animal. They like to think they are. The carnivores like to think they are, but you're literally being a vulture. You're looking over, and circling this kind of dead flesh that's in a grocery store. It's got all this bacteria. And by the way, all the bacteria, the live bacteria, the nutrients, there's certain ones, it all dies. You're not really getting any nutrition at all. A lot of it is just kind of dead, or it's festering, or its levels are really tempered as far as like the bioavailability and stuff like that. Um, Yeah, so you're not being macho in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely terrible. You're being a vulture, and you're eating something that a baby, a toddler, essentially, 18 to 24 months old, and you're eating it. And a lot of you don't know what you're doing, just like I and a lot of the vegans in here did not know what we were doing before we went vegan. We were tricked by mainstream narratives. We were tricked by, just messaging that's fallacious at its heart and only agenda based. THX says, but the animal kingdom is vicious in that way. Not an appeal to nature fallacy thing. I just think the way, I guess they're saying it's just been that way for a long time. Yeah, and now in 2025, we are called to evolve. We're called to uh, uh, exact the moral agency of which we have and to venture through these new horizons and to take on new vistas and ways of seeing things. And we can leave the animals right off of our plate. We don't have to eat them. We don't have to serve these systems of violence anymore and kind of prop up and strengthen systems like the four walls you see behind me. It's 2025, guys. We got to grow up. So we can appeal to nature. We can say, "Oh, because lions do it, I can do it." But lions do a lot of things. They commit infanticide. They're out there committing all kinds of atrocities. We're not here to base our 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 behavior off of lions. That would be elementary, if I would say. Jordan Peterson looks like a ghoul. He is skinny, frail, deathly looking. Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible. And he's just constantly using religion to shore up his reasonings for eating meat. Veganosaur, what's going on? Nice to see you. Ja, Jen says, look at them thinking they're better than animals. We are animals. We need meat and veggies if you want to evolve. No, we don't need meat. There's nothing in meat that we need in our bodies. There's a lot that we don't need. IGF-1, that's a cancer precursor. It's called insulin growth factor 1. Heterocyclic amines, this is what happens when you cook meat at high temperatures. It's not good for your body, and it's also a cancer precursor, a cancer correlative. Cortisol, which is a fear hormone, you don't want that in your body. Do you want a fear hormone in your body from somebody else, like a toddler, an 18 to 24-month-old that's died? It was scared, a scared baby when they died. Do you want that cortisol from their fear in your vessel? Guys, that's not good for you, your kids, your friends, uh, or anybody. Do you want cholesterol, plaque promoting cholesterol in your body? Do you want saturated fat, copious amounts of it loaded into your body? Do you want TMAO catalysts put into your body? All this stuff is collateral, are collateral elements that are in meat that each time you eat meat, you're literally putting into your vessel. So think about that. Do you really want to put those things into your body? Just eat plants. Plants don't have any of that. Plus, they got fiber. Some plants have saturated fat, but much more tempered amounts. And plants have fiber. Come on, the animals that you're eating are eating plants. That's how they get the protein, guys. There's no X factor in meat that you need. There's no vitamin, there's no nutrient, there's nothing that you need that's in meat. Sorry, full stop, game over, end of conversation. We have to stop supporting what goes on in those four walls. We have to stop strengthening systems that put babies, 18 to 24-month-old babies, in a chamber where they get their throats slit, and then their dead flesh, their dead bodies get put on a truck to wind up in there on somebody's plate to be seemingly and unassumingly consumed for taste pleasure. It's terrible. It is not who we are in 2025. Humanity is better than that. Okay. Let's see here. Someone says, F those babies. Well, that's not nice, my ling. And that somebody will enjoy that plate. Unfortunately, they will, at the expense of somebody else's entire life. And they won't even remember the meal a few days later. Jen says, but plants feel pain too. Okay, might as well address this while we're out here. So I don't know, Jens, if you're familiar with the energy conversion ratio of a cow. It's 8 to 1. So cows take in 8 units of energy, they output 1. Okay, so you're killing 8 times more plants when you're not vegan. So if you are genuine with your sentiment, you will be vegan, which is doing the best that's practical and possible. So, your argument holds no weight, unfortunately, if you are being genuine. If you do believe that plants are sentient. Now, they don't have nervous systems or brains. They are alive, they respond to stimuli, but they don't have a subjective experience of their world like humans and animals do. So, uh, there you go. No, we're not K11. There's no let's just stop eating. We have plenty of foods out there that we can eat. We have a utopian of plant-based foods. You can eat Chinese as a vegan, American as a vegan. You can eat Spanish as a vegan. You can eat Italian. I eat everything under the sun. For breakfast, I'm doing any kind of style, oatmeal, vegan pancakes, you name it. I'm building it out. For lunch, I could do Chinese. A lot of times I'd like to do pastas for lunch. There's no limitations. There's new horizons awaiting you if you go vegan. A whole new host of things that you might not have even known existed that you'll be trying. Once your why is strong enough and you realize that you don't need to support these systems of violence and you make the switch to vegan, everything just comes to you. You it'll figure itself out. I enjoy every single meal that I have, vegan 13 years. And, I eat the vegan versions of meat, the vegan versions of cheese. And guess what? They don't have the cholesterol, heterocyclogamines, IGF-1, all that stuff that I listed. They don't have it. They don't have it. Um, meat's not healthy. It's terrible for your body. It puts people in the hospital, and we got to stop championing it. We got to stop um, uh, pumping it up and saying that it's something macho and normal and necessary and nice. It's none of those things. It's terrible. Shan Beck says, "Why do you have to do this? Let meat eaters eat meat, and I guess we do us." Okay, you're alluding to a choice factor. People should have a choice. We should have a choice. And, I get that. A lot of non vegans think that we're trying to take away their freedom, which is the absolute opposite of what we're trying to do. We're just trying to kind of interface some truth to point to something um, that will help you kind of sink and live with your true nature, with your benevolent nature. You're alluding to a choice factor. Okay, so let's come to an agreement. Choice matters. Okay, and that's what you're alluding to. Choice is a freedom. So we have a choice to eat meat. We have a choice not to eat meat. What about the animal? What choice are we giving them? Because there's a choice factor there too. There's somebody behind those two eyes. They have eyes to see and nose to smell. They have families. They have a nervous system. They can feel, they can love. We have to look at their choice too. If you're going to posture up that kind of dynamic, then it would be hypocritical not to also look from this other being's outlook who you are involving with your choice, taking away everything from that individual for a fleeting sense of taste, pleasure, and arbitrary nutrition. So I hope that answered that question. Uh, what choice does a grizzly bear give you when he's gnawing on your thigh bone? Well, that's completely aside from the point. That's called an appeal to nature fallacy. It's literally I mean, you got to catch up with the times. You can't appeal to nature. You're not in that situation. We're talking to the people that are watching. We're talking to you, sir or ma'am. Um, you know, This grizzly bears in his contextual situation. Dude, you have Chipotle. Dude. Anyway, let's go back to why we're here. A quick little reset. If you're just getting here, we are outside of a steakhouse, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in my town. This is where animals go after they have been harvested, cut up into body parts. They go here to be served. They go here to be heated up on a grill, to wind up in front of somebody's plate, to then be consumed by the person. We're showing the end effect of what Mel and Steve are showing in their stream today. Mel and Steve and other activists, David, and there's more across the world today that are in Project Livestream. I wasn't able to make it out to a slaughterhouse today, so I'm in front of a steakhouse just showing the end effect of where the animals go after they're cut up, harvested, and packaged. They go to a place like that, and they get grilled, sautéed, whatever kind of process they're exacting, filleted, blackened. These beings are being exacted said kind of processes, and then they wind up on somebody's plate where they pay 10 times more than the cost of it to just keep these systems thriving. And it's absolutely savage capitalism at its finest, with all cylinders firing. Absolutely terrible, and it needs to stop. Seeing beings as numbers, as metrics of enjoyment, and not their own sovereign beings, and not seeing them as beings and sovereign beings. It's an absolutely appalling thing that we do. And a lot of us don't know that we do it. But this is that steakhouse. Now, right now, where I'm at, it's 7 a.m. So there's not a ton of people in there yet. It's not even open. But later tonight, there'll be valets here. There'll be people in suits, dressed up to the nines. Anybody who's anybody will be going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, the most popular steakhouse in my town. I hear there are steaks in there that are $150 plus. People will be buying $300, $400 bottles of wine to pair with their flesh. And the sad thing is, the genesis and what lies behind the curtain there is a world of pain, savagery, death, hate, violence, racism, you name it, and we are supporting it when we are not vegan. And if we are against war, any of those things that I mentioned, we are hypocrites if we are not vegan. Veganism is simply the golden rule realized. It's simply actions speaking louder than words. It's simply not just giving lip service and say, yeah, I care for those people. Oh, I'm not racist. Oh, I don't like violence. It's simply not being a hypocrite like that. It's simply acting and doing what you're saying you believe in and who you are. That's all veganism is. So please consider boycotting places like this. Consider boycotting anything that sells meat or cheese or milk or eggs. And consider going vegan, everybody here in the chat. You can do it. It's 2025. You can do it. We can grow up in 2025 and evolve our consciousness to consider these beings as part of the collective. We don't have to be cold, staunch, just kind of robots that don't see them as the beings they are. We can be our benevolent selves, how we're born. We can remember that again. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So thanks for being here, everybody. If you can, like and subscribe so we can kind of amp up this live stream, stretch it out, and get some more people watching. Madison says, Junito, calm down. The animals don't care if you're vegan because they would eat you if need be. I can't even respond to that. I'm sorry. THX says you're the best vegan advocate on here. Some of the others talk down too much to meat eaters. THX, I guess we all have our own styles. And I myself see how all of us are interconnected as humans. And I think it's important to relate on a compassionate level to our fellow humans. Now, sometimes, the messaging is so strong that it naturally makes people defensive. But I appreciate your sentiment in seeing that I see people too. For 30 years, I was not vegan, and I was a good person. And then I went vegan, and I am a good person. And it's something that we are unfortunately deceived into. Like I was saying, we're all born vegan. We come out of there with this stainless, intuitive kind of love for all, and then all of a sudden, through conditioning and narratives, and our peers and our doctors and our parents, they've all been conditioned by the same narratives. We get inundated, and we lose that innocence, that deep ethical purity that we're born with, and a beautiful thing about 2025 is we have social media and we have these live streams, right? And mainstream can't control these. We're off the grid. We're off the grid. So we have the ability to exact sound information to people to interface with them and help them change. And it's a beautiful thing. So I appreciate your sentiment. I really hope you consider going vegan. There's resources on my page, on my channel descript, including speeches. Everybody here has to watch one speech, and it's called "The Best Speech You Will Ever Hear" by a guy named Gary Yourofsky. His speech made me vegan 13 years ago. I watched it once and I said, nope, not happening. And I was vehemently opposed to veganism. Guess what? I watched it again a week later. Boom. As soon as I was done, this guy was vegan. And the rest is history. Um, the truth is just going to wait for you guys. It's there. The truth is there. It will not move. It doesn't mind being questioned. It's there. And at some point, we can all hope that we can all see that truth. Anyway, okay, if anyone's just getting here, today I'm outside of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in my town. We are going off of Mel and Steve's project live stream where everybody across the world right now is showing footage of, they are outside slaughterhouses and trying to capture video and pictures of the poor babies going into the slaughterhouse and products coming out of the slaughterhouse, I believe. So the products coming out of the slaughterhouse will be taken to a place like this where they will be seasoned, sauced, and textured, grilled, sautéed, flambéed, to be presented in front of a paying customer's purview, where they're going to pay anywhere from $50 to $150 a plate to enjoy this arbitrary nutrition and fleeting taste pleasure. And it's a really sad thing, and it's a really unfortunate thing. And the system is stronger than ever, with 98% of people not being vegan and seeing these animals as objects, numbers, and not the beings they are. So we're just out here showing the end effect, the end destination of the slaughtered beings. Alex says, I eat 2 pounds of beef a day. Alex, that's terrible. I challenge you to look at the poor babies you're sending to death and who you're eating, and to take a look in the mirror and realize that's not you, man. John Caltech says, I was lucky I had other Hunt Sabs informing me about the dairy industry. They didn't say much, just the dairy industry has more blood in it than the meat industry. I sooner went vegan. Oh, absolutely. The dairy industry on a cruelty basis eclipses the beef industry. I mean, these cows are literally raped 4 to 5 to 6 times during their lifetime. As soon as they're spent and they can't produce any more you know, milk. They get taken out to pasture, throat slit, sold for cheap meat, probably harvested for their other body parts as well. It's just this vile. It's like I said, it's like the movie Saw, or Hostel, or one of those really graphic Barbarian, one of those really graphic movies that's actually happening on our watch to sovereign beings, and it's all hidden from our purview. Hey, since I got you guys in here, if everybody could like and subscribe to the stream, that would be very helpful. Non-vegans and vegans. If you think I'm a nice guy and you're non-vegan, you might not like what I'm saying, still like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that because we can pump this stream up and amplify it to more eyes and ears across the globe. Thanks for being here, everybody. What's that, buddy? Okay, let's see. Mark G says, hi from Indonesia. Alex says, you're weird. Okay. Madison says, you're going to give yourself a heart attack? About time. Oh, hey, another space nut. K11, you want to argue against B12 injected into your food versus my supplement next. Non-vegans talk nonsense about that too. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody being here with me. I'll probably be out, let's see, for another, I don't know, we're getting some more people in here, so we might stay longer than we planned. But if you're just getting here, I'm outside of a steakhouse, and we're showing the end effect of what Mel and Steve and everybody from Project Livestream are kind of showing today. So all like the little babies that are in the slaughterhouses, getting killed, getting their throats slit, you know, for something that we don't even need, they wind up in those four walls. They wind up having a number on them. They get stamped with a number that their each part of their body is apparently worth, and you know, they are consumed. Not only are they killed in savage ways, they are eaten. Guys, they are eaten. We have to think about that. We have to think about that. We've been taught that it's normal, necessary, and nice to eat meat. We've been taught that it's just natural. We've been taught all this stuff by conditioning, by narratives. Think about what I just said. They're hung upside down. They get their throats slit, bled out, guts, blood all over the floor, and then they're eaten. Let that steep for a little bit. If you put a human in that context, you would be appalled. You would be appalled. Another space. Hunter says, interesting enough, no one was taught. Man has been eating meat since the dawn of time. Someone would say it's natural. Yeah, it's that's just the common go-to that a lot of people go to. We've been eating meat for years and years and years. We've been doing all kinds of stuff for years and years and years. We've been raping for years and years and years. We've been mutilating female genitalia for years and years and years and years. We've been doing all this stuff, but we want to cherry pick the one thing that we want to continue doing because we feel like our freedom's being threatened. Listen, one thing that I want to disclose is us vegans, we're not trying to take away anybody's freedom, and we're not trying to take away anything from you. But in essence, we're trying to amplify your freedoms. We're trying to show you that, for one, we can't ask for freedom if we're taking it away from someone else. So we might think that we're free even though we go around taking others' freedoms, but then take a look around. Take a look around. You know, we live in a savage system of capitalism where we are exploited on the daily. We are finding ourselves in the med-surg unit of hospitals, having heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. We are finding ourselves in cubicles, going around doing the bidding of people that could care less about our welfares, but virtue signaling otherwise. So there's some deep, very notions to be steeped with when it comes to freedom, because I'd probably bet that you're probably not free. And most of us, I mean, really inside these four walls of capitalism, nobody's free, and we've done it to ourselves. But I would also contest that and posture that new vistas await us if we start giving others their freedom. New horizons await us, because we're taking away the freedom from these little babies, be it the pigs, chickens, cows. We're taking away everything from them for guess what? For a that's good, a yum yum, a taste pleasure, a fleeting moment that we're going to forget. And once you go vegan, there's a whole new utopia of foods that await you. foods you didn't even know existed, vegan foods, vegan cheese, vegan meat, vegan eggs. They're all there. They're out there. Not saying these things are the healthiest things in the world, but guess what? They taste the same. In they taste the same, and you don't get the cholesterol, the saturated fat, the copious amounts of it, the IGF-1, the heterocyclic amines, the TMAO catalysts, the cortisol, the fear, suffering, and death. You're not putting any of that into your body. We have to think about these things in 2025. It's our inflection year. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. If you're just getting here, like and subscribe. Let's get up to we got 91 in here. Let's get up to 100 plus. Let's full send this 100 plus and really get in front of some eyes here with what we're doing here today. But if you're just getting here, I'm kind of I'm hopping on Melon Steve's project live stream, and we are showing the end effects of what happens to the poor babies that they're chronicling today via their slaughterhouse endeavors. And what happens to them, you ask? Well, they go to this little building over here called a steakhouse, and they are put before anything. They come in to receiving. They go into the freezer, their body parts, that is. As soon as need be, they're seasoned, they're sauced, they're textured, then they're grilled, flambéed, filleted, sautéed, blackened, you name it, and they're put in front of somebody's plate. And what does that somebody do? They unknowingly eat them. They knowingly eat them, but many people don't know what exactly they're doing. And that's because we've all been deceived, tricked, and lied to by narratives that want us to continue thinking that it's normal, it's necessary, and it's nice to consume meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. And we're here today just to expose these places. This is the most popular one in my town. And to show you that it's shameful, to show them that it's shameful what they're doing, and there needs to be a turning point here in 2025. Tyler says, plants are living things too. Tyler, I've kind of already addressed this in the earlier on, but if you really are genuine with that sentiment, here's a stress test for you. Cows have an 8-to-1 energy conversion ratio, right? So they take in 8 units of energy, they give out 1. So if you are genuine, then right now, you got to turn vegan because you kill 8 times less plants. And being vegan is not about perfection. It is doing your best. Inuits that are in different geographic areas of the world that have to kill to survive, they have no choice. Or maybe ones that existed in more primordial terms. I don't know if that exactly is the case nowadays, but I would call them vegan because they're doing the best that's practical and possible. And guess what, my friend? You know, you kill 8 times less plants. So it's time to go vegan, Tyler. Or else everything you posture with is complete hypocrisy. Brady says, without meat, you would starve poor kids. I don't know if you heard what I said about the 8-to-1 energy conversion ratio. We could actually feed the world if we all went vegan, because we could purpose land for plants and not the very inefficient stewardship that we are procuring right now via animal agriculture. You could feed a lot more people if we're actually purposing our land for direct plant consumption and not for animal feed. 70% of soy, 70% of corn, 80% of wheat, 90% of soy. Guess where all that goes? To animal feed. Plants are for the lesser animals, says the real Donald Trump. Okay. Ryan says, how come lions aren't vegan? Ryan, we're not getting into that, dude. And then, we got another Ryan in here with a let's go, Ryan James. Okay, fellow vegan army. We are amassing, guys. Watch out. But I want to lament something. This is not a versus type thing. This is not a me versus you. Veganism is not. We are just in the spirit of sharing the truth with our fellow human beings. And oh, here we go. We got a produce. So we got a truck coming in. All right, there we go. So Mel and Steve are showing some trucks coming in. This is the end effect right here. This is what happens. This truck coming in has probably got body parts on it. God knows what it could have on it, but it probably does to service the inside of the four walls in this steakhouse behind me. Now it says vegan, boo. I don't know why you would be booing a compassionate kind of endeavor here, my friend. Anyway, that's interesting. That's kind of interesting. We got to see a truck today as well here. So you got the trucks of the beings that Mel and Steve and David are exposing right now, and then you get the trucks of the beings that are now packaged up, ready to be seasoned, sauce, and textured for fleeting amount of enjoyment, a fleeting period of enjoyment and arbitrary nutrition that only hurts you. That only hurts you. Brady says how many animals die farming crops. Okay, once again, we'll go back and we'll defer to the energy conversion ratio of 8-to-1. So if you are genuine and you want to steward and protect those animals you're referencing, you're vegan or you're a hypocrite. Let me explain why. The cow has an 8-to-1 energy conversion ratio. It takes in 8 units of energy. It only outputs 1. So you're killing 8 times more rodents, moles, beetles, you name it, if you're not vegan. So, Brady, if you are genuine with that posturing, you will go vegan right now. And if not, you're a hypocrite, my friend. The argument holds no weight. It's a great little deflector. It's one of the carnivore's favorites. But at the end of the day, it holds no weight at all, and it just alludes to the kind of intelligence of the argument in general. Sorry. Picture quality is really good, Jimmy. New phone? Oh, no, Ryan. I don't know why. That's great though. What I need to do is get this same quality, copy and paste it into my live interviews. Because I don't know if you. I have a great interview, everybody. If you get a chance to see it, go to my channel. First, like and subscribe. Go to my channel. Look up the interview I did with Joe Best last night on spirituality and veganism. Oh man, you'll see I got a lot of room for improvement with my laptop cam. I need to get a new one. But I'm glad the picture is good here for this. Brady, Madison, how do you feed people? Oh boy. Brady's a troll. Don't worry about him. They're harmless. Vega says, I could do meat. I don't know. I don't know about Parmesan cheese. You could do no meat. I don't know about Parmesan cheese. Okay, well, just keep in mind the reason we go vegan is the ethical underpinning of it all, right? And unfortunately, the dairy industry is, whew, I'd say, 10 times crueler in aggregate um, than the beef industry. As far as how a cow gets pregnant, a farmer has to stick its hand into the cow's anus, hold down its cervix, then it pumps in ejaculated bull semen, just forces it into the cow, all against its will. The cow's screaming and yelling, and it is in a lot of pain. And you could imagine, a human in the same context. This will give you an idea. The cow's raped 4 to 5 to 6 times during their lives. When they're no longer producing milk, they're taken and they're hung upside down. They have their throats slit wide open, and then they get shipped away for cheap meat or however else they can be harvested. So that's what you pay for when you're paying for dairy. Something as unassuming as Parmesan cheese, that's what you're paying for. And that's not some kind of legacy, or not a legacy. I would wager that you'd want to leave with your fleeting years in this human life. Cows scream for about 3 days after their calves are stolen. Thank you for saying that as well, Sarah Can. I apologize for not bringing that up. Absolutely right. And then the cows, they'll scream because they don't have their kids. They scream because somebody's taken their child. And once again, that's baked into the cake as far as what we pay for when we're not vegan. All right, a little kind of bringing it back to the MO here. So we're outside of a steakhouse. We're showing where the dead animals and flesh go after they're harvested to be seasoned, sauced, and textured, sauteed, grilled, and flambéed, and put in front of a person to consume. This is where the slaughterhouse beings go after they are unalived and simply turned into corpses. They go here for people to pay big amounts of money to shore up and strengthen the systems of slaughter. And it's absolutely vile. We're here to expose these places today. And this is a slaughterhouse, essentially, or the products of a slaughterhouse. They call it a steakhouse because now it's not a being anymore. It's not a cow, a pig, or chicken. They don't have a name. They are a steak. They are a euphemism. They are an object. They are a number. They are a metric of enjoyment for a consumer. And a lot of us are tricked to think that we need and we should be eating, and it's okay to eat and consume meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. If you're just getting here, we'd love it if you would like and subscribe to the stream. Um, we'll see. Maybe I'll pop up and do more of these out front of different steakhouses. Right now it is 7 a.m. where I'm at. I'm a part of Project Livestream, so we're syncing up together. At this current point in time, there really is nobody going in here to enjoy to enjoy an experience. But later tonight, you'll see cars outside, fancy cars. You'll see a valet. You'll see, people dressed up in all to the nines and all kinds of laughing and festivities. But what lies behind the curtain? Outside and underneath all the laughing, the smiling, the camaraderie, and the festivities, a whole world of darkness, pain, and suffering. That's what lies behind the curtain. And we're here today to expose, steakhouses and these buildings that shore up the slaughter industry and the savagery of which is imposed on our fellow sentient beings. Steve says, "You're stepping on bugs. Bugs have souls." Okay. Um, let's see. Matthew says, "So it's assumed. So it is assumed moral authority you get off on." No, absolutely not, Matthew. We're not here to talk down to people. We're not here to condescend. We're not here to attack. We're here to simply share information. Because, my friend, you've been tricked if you're still consuming meat and cheese and milk and eggs. And we're here to hopefully help you and help you see. That's it. And we're not here to come off as some moral authority. But the ethics of veganism eclipse all things, and you're born vegan too, Matt. You're born vegan. We just forget because of all the conditioning that's just inundated upon us through different societally championed narratives that everybody listens to. We think that eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs is normal, necessary, and nice, and we're taught that from a very young age. But your deep ethical purity that you're born with is still there. It's underneath everything. It's just been eclipsed by the inundatings of these said mechanisms. So we're here to hopefully point to something, not to attack, condescend, etc. And thanks for being here. Yeah, Chris, we drink milk when we're born from our mother. Yeah. And another thing is babies and kids, they don't need any meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. My daughter's vegan since birth. She's never had meat or cheese or milk or eggs. There's no vitamin or supplement or anything like that that you need on a vegan diet. You get it all from the very complete and not lacking plant-based diet. Chris says, yeah, it's still mammal milk. Yeah, dude, but it's the natural type, the natural way to get milk. It's consensual based, my friend. So pat yourself on the back and leave others alone. So, Chris, once again, you're alluding, like others have alluded in the chat, to the choice factor, and I get it, okay? Because it seems like I'm trying to take something away. It seems like that. And there is a choice factor involved. But if we're going to appeal to the choice factor and appeal to the freedom factor, then we have to include everybody, right? So you can say, okay, yeah, I choose to eat meat, and then another person, I choose to not eat meat. Okay, but then we have to tilt also to the animal outlook. What about their choice? Because you have to consider everything if you're going to point to and take on a position like that. As far as the animal, we're taking away everything from them via exacting our will on them with our purchases, our desires, what we want to taste, the type of nutrition we want. And it's all arbitrary. We don't need any of that from the animal. This leaves us with that kind of looming implication. So please consider the animal's choice. Tessa's in the house. What's up, Tessa? How's it going? Nice to see you here. Yeah, I'm out here today. We're kind of working with Mel and Steve. Little intro with them earlier on in the stream. They're outside of slaughterhouses. I'm just hoping that they're safe, and they're really being, the courageous warriors that the animals need, showing what and where the animals go to die and have their throats slit and have everything taken away from them. It's a very volatile landscape that they're in right now, but they're they're out there for the animals. If you get a chance, go to Mel and Steve, like and subscribe to them. Also go to the 40-year-old vegan. Please like and subscribe to David. Uh, yeah, right. Unnecessary abuse. Chris, we were waiting for it. Did you know that plants have a conscience? Chris, we have to ask ourselves, do plants have sentience? Do they have a central nervous system and a brain, my friend? And if you really are genuine about your posturing, you're vegan because you kill 8 times more plants when you're not vegan. And that's as per the cow's energy conversion ratio and how things assimilate within a cow. It takes in 8 units of energy, outputs 1 unit of energy. Just think about that. Hunter says they've done plenty of studies on this. Plants do seem to have some form of awareness. What I like to say now when I hear somebody lamenting studies or research or anything peer reviewed, take it with a grain of salt. Please. Anytime I hear the word study, take it with a grain of salt. You know why, guys? Because every study is funded. Every study is funded. Material science in general is all funded by fallible humans. It's to a point in time where we have to start listening to our own intuition instead of looking to other authorities for our information. I'm not going to go off on a rant on your sentiment, but just please take that into account moving forward. You can't reference peer review in studies. It's all funded, everybody. It's all funded. We know that a plant-based diet does not lack. We know that we've been lied to by narratives that champion and use and exact and exploit material science to make you think that you need a certain granule vitamin, mineral, supplement. Okay, we have to start looking above and seeing things for how they really are. We all are herbivores. We're opportunistic omnivores right now, but we're born anatomically in spirit of herbivorous consumption. These little canines back here, don't get me started. So this intestine, don't get me started. Our instincts, don't get me started. But we are all we're all vegan, and it's all taken away from us when we're born through conditioning, through where we're put, through the state of the world, through savage capitalism. My friends, I'm going to do another minute or so, and I will be taking off from my endeavors of the day. I'm really glad that I got to be here talking to you guys. Once again, we're outside of a we're outside of a steakhouse, which is the next following to from the slaughterhouse, of which the animals are cold, hung upside down, throats slit, The next stage is that steakhouse right there is where they go to be sold by the pound for a monetary unit for somebody's fleeting taste, pleasure, and consumption. So that's our endeavor today. Um, it's been a pleasure being here and kind of exposing at least the four walls there. And there's going to be more of these popping up where we go outside slaughterhouses and try to do some education-based activism, and it just starts showing, people where the slaughterhouse content and what you see in slaughterhouses, where it goes, where it winds up, and what you're actually eating, guys. Um, so if you get a chance, like and subscribe. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks, my fellow vegans. Kim Cat, nice to see you. Ryan, I know Atira was in here. Anybody that I forgot, really thanks all my fellow vegan friends for being here. Tessa, tomorrow night I'll be live on the street. Did I say, yeah, tomorrow night, right? Yeah, tomorrow night I'll be live on the street doing some animal rights activism, asking the public why they're not vegan yet, and hopefully getting into some thoughtful conversations that make them think and simply just see. Um, yeah, love you all. You guys have a great vegan day. People that aren't vegan, please consider going vegan. Check out the resources on my page. Everybody watch The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear by Gary Yourofsky. And go vegan. Go vegan for the planet. Go vegan for each other. And most importantly, right now, go vegan for the animals. I'll see you guys in the next stream. This is James, and I'm signing out.